Pro League is the Season 1 kickoff here from TwitchCon 2019, and I hope you've got your seat because you're not going to want to move from it for the next 2 matches. These are the final 2 matches of the day, one of them the championship match, but this next one, the Professor taking on the Godslayer, the best narrative, in my opinion, that exists now in a game and an esport like Quake because Quake has this legacy. Literally, the old blood Rapha versus the new blood Raisy, and I am incredibly excited for this match. In fact, gentlemen, I would even say that this could have been the championship match. I think you could have flip-flopped either one of them, and people would still be as excited. But welcome back to the panel. Rapha versus Raisy, the Professor versus the Godslayer. Both of these titles definitely well-deserved. Ketchup, let's start with you.
I feel like if you are the kind of player in Quake to get the mantle, the Godslayer, you've got to be doing something right.
Right.
You know, Raisy already has a rich history in Quake Champions. I think one of his more memorable results or tournaments, I guess, was Quakecon in 2017, where he faced off against Rapha. They were in the same group. Raisy back then was a complete up-and-comer that even at the time a lot of people hadn't really heard of. He said it himself. He was a semi-pro CS player at the time, and it was after Quakecon he transitioned in full time. He had Rapha on the ropes, and it was down to a tragic choke, really tragic choke in like, what, the last 7 seconds that caused Rapha to take it over him. But that, even back then, could have easily been his immediate breakout. But from that point onwards, he went to more and more lands, would qualify for more and more tournaments, became a champion in his own right for tournaments like DreamHack Denver, and he's been a proud member of Maestro for a very, very long time. And it's crazy to think that in like just over 2 years, he has really become one of the greatest players in the business.
Yeah.
Absolutely, has achieved so much. And let's not forget, he actually faced off against Rapha in Italy and actually took him from lower bracket, resetting, lost 1 map, 4 in a row. That's probably where he got the name Godslayer, because that is a huge, huge feat.
The god had a cold at the time. Let's remember.
Let's
remember that. Little details. It's fine.
Even the greatest esports gods are not immortal, and that's the beauty of especially a game like Quake. And just because someone has this legacy 10, 12, 13 years as a contender and a champion does not mean that new blood can't come in and disrupt things, for sure.
No, I mean, we were talking about big results for Raisy as well, is that, you mentioned it, right, Luca in Italy, where I think that actually is where, I guess, his name came from, because not only did he have to defeat Rapha in that tournament, but his path was ridiculous. The amount of players that were at that tournament, it really was some of the world's absolute greatest in attendance, and he went through almost every single one. But we can't talk about the best without talking about Rapha. This guy is currently seen to be the greatest Quake Champions player of all time, going into QuakeCon at least, where he won pretty much everything.
Yeah, went on a tear, PGL, DreamHack Sweden. Before that, I mean, maybe greatest Quake player of all time. I mean, he's won multiple championships across multiple titles in multiple places in the world. I mean, how do you say anything else about him?
I mean, it's been back and forth, right? Like he mentioned in his interview, PGL was an incredible accomplishment, a very difficult one. He had many players that he had faced off before and land before and hadn't done as well against. So to him, it meant a lot coming back into PGL, kind of getting that crown back. Italy was a bit of a different story. I heard a lot of different stories about how that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like trading LAN after LAN, and he's always going to be gunning for that top position. But like we mentioned, the fact that it's him versus Raisy in this final today, yes, that. It's about as classic of a clash-up as you can get in modern Quake.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to talk more about this matchup, but first, let's meet our players. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last prize fight of the day before our championship match. Let's introduce who's playing. Well, big cheers on both sides. And before we go into the map vetoes, you mentioned the age-old argument, like, who was the greatest Quake champion of all time? And I'll just task John04 Hill at inventing a time machine so that we can go and capture all the players at their pinnacle and peak, so that we can have that tournament one day, maybe in another 50 years. I don't know.
When
That's a good
technology
plan. I like
develops
it.
a little bit further and we can have AI simulate the play styles.
That might actually happen before the time travel. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final prize fight matchup. The Professor, Rapha, taking on the Godslayer, Raisy. Both players coming out to, I would say, crowd cheers. We certainly got two favorites here. Rapha, maybe with a little bit of that home field advantage, as we saw with the hang. But I really expect a 5-match series here.
I think anything less would be criminal, but it's really up to Raisy and Rapha to see what they can do. I know it's not the championship match, but I know both these players, like everyone else, is going to treat it like the championship match. They don't want to lose. They don't want to drop a map as we get into the pick bans. And the maps look like Corrupted Keep, Veil, Molten, Awoken, and Blood Run. Ooh, banning Slash. That's interesting from Rapha.
We have Sorlag and Anarchy for Rapha, so double CPMs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I figured he would have liked Slash. And actually, he's missing out on the Athena. Rapha's very, very good with Athena, not to take away anything from Raisy. But, I mean, when you watch Rapha play Athena, it's art.
Yeah.
I'm also eyeing up Veil of Nath. This actually kind of is the Luca map. It was the map that we saw both Raisy and Rapha play on, arguably the most of that tournament. And that was kind of like, it wasn't brand new to the dual rotation at the time, but it definitely was a map that a lot of players, I think, were grinding because they wanted to be familiar with it. And Rapha kind of, up until Grand Finals, ruled the roost on it.
Do you think, you guys, this match, because again, thinking about the fact that, like, yes, this is the kickoff event, and then we're going to have a series of events and weekly matches that will, bring up new contenders, etc. But, with the legacy that we've got here between Rapha, between Kilson, between someone like Cooler, and Raisy, certainly someone who, labeled the God Killer, do you think that a win from Raisy here, like, does any sort of dictation for what could be happening in, the next year as we build up to Quakecon 2020, or is it still too early to think about that?
If history's any precedent, if Raisy ends up taking it, Rapha's just going to take it back into the lab.
Yeah.
And he's going to cook something else up for the next LAN. And Raisy, I mean, I don't know what he does. I don't know what his training regimen is, but every time he shows up at a LAN, he is prepared. He is solid. I've never seen him get sick at a LAN, so, knock on wood.
So you're saying it's something that he's eating. Got it.
Yes, exactly.
Can I actually give a little mini shout to those new Team Liquid jerseys, by the way?
Yeah.
They look absolutely fantastic.
Look very nice. Team Liquid recently picked up Marvel as a sponsor. And speaking of sponsors, before we go to our predictions, I want to give a shout out to Alienware and all of the great sponsors here that have been helping out at QuakeCon. All of the official matches have been played here on Alienware computers and Alienware monitors. So shout out to Alienware for making all of this crazy stuff work and letting us watch every frame of every piece of action happening here at the Quake Pro League. With that being said, I hope that was enough time to let you guys think about predictions, because everyone's going to hold you to what you are about to say. Ketchup, I'm coming to you first. What do you think? The Godslayer or the Professor?
It's very difficult to make a prediction for this match in particular, purely because of the player history, the journeys both of them had. However, we're at QuakeCon. We are in America right now, and we know that Rapha feeds off both crowd energy, especially when he's the favorite to win, according to the crowd, and he has that LAN environment behind his back. For that reason, I'm going to say Rapha, but I definitely think it's going to be a 3-2.
All right.
I'm going to make Jahar go first.
All right, Jahar.
How does it feel? Does it hurt?
Here's the thing. I have to echo that. It's definitely going to go to 5 maps. And more than it going to 5 maps, it's going to go to the last minute. So you're not asking me to predict who's going to win the series. You're asking me to predict what's going to happen at 9 minutes and 57 seconds. And I can't do that.
On Blood Run, specifically.
Yeah,
because if we go 5, it's just going to all come down to that.
If you can do that, sure. I can't do it. Maybe 40 can.
I don't know. All I know is that Rapha 3-2, maybe 3-1 if he gets in a groove. Because the Professor, class is in session. Let's just say that.
All right. I mean, but against the Godslayer, maybe there's some things that Raisy's ready to teach the Professor,
Maybe the student has become
becomes
the teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. We're going to find out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this last prize match before the championship? Great. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give it off to Jahar and 40 Lions.
Oh man, here we are. So maybe a little bit of recompense for Italy, maybe a little bit of a repeat from PGL. We don't know what we're in store for.
The saltiest of runbacks, at the very least. We'll see how it goes, but as we predicted, it seems that we're a little bit biased, maybe?
No. Me? Us?
Never.
That's
Never.
The bias is a Zoot thing. But let's take a quick look at these guys as we get into our first map.
Yeah, Corrupted Keep. It looks like it's going to be Anarchy versus...
For $9,500. And like you said, we're going into Corrupted Keep. So we won't be able to gauge Rail Awakeness right off the bat. It'll take a little while before we get into that.
But there will be a lot of drugs and flames. Again, Anarchy versus DK on Corrupted Keep.
Classic Quakecon.
Classic Quakecon. It should be a good one. I think all the matches are going to be pretty close, but I'm sticking with my 3-1, possibly 3-2.
And like we said, we got Anarchy, we got Death Knight, and yeah, Rapha is just going very hard up on all of the movement champions in this setup. But we're gonna go ahead and get things kicked off right here, right now. Rapha versus Raisy. We got Rapha with the heavy armor start. Gonna be running it back to the rocket launcher for that first grab, and that, of course that means Raisy will have the first LG. And the machine gun work, I'm sorry. Oh, it's actually Raisy on Anarchy. Oh. No, Raisy took all the movement. All right.
Love the trap. The fire and flames are burning him down. Rapha actually backs into that, and he might be burning alive here. What?
Drugs and flames, baby.
Drugs and flames, 1-1 already. Rapha on the Death Knight now claims the heavy, makes his way back towards the Mega. He's not going to be in time, but he does have decent position here to pepper with MG. Raisy trying to fight out of the corner here. Really rough position here, but he's absolutely lighting up Rapha. Grab the 50 shard and the 225s down in the Boneyard.
Rapha moving back in for these rockets. Back in the red room. Not a whole lot of love out of it. And in fact, Raisy's able to get back out of there, back to LG. Could be a trade, a very long distance. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, you see me. Gonna get that Mega. He's delaying it just a little bit.
Oh,
was that intentional? Was that the idea? Oh, this is a lot of LG, and Raisy goes down. Rapha down the lead.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay there from Raisy, and that cost him that frag, getting stuck on that ledge. It's too good to be true. Here's the denial from the 50 armor for Rapha as he makes his way back over to the heavy. That's going to spawn first, then Mega. A little bit too tight on the timing. Might not be able to make it back unless he gets some rocket jumps going here. Right out of the gate, lots of machine gun damage there from Raisy, doing really well to position on that Mega.
He's still going to be able to get that pickup, being a little bit ambiguous about which way he's going. So a little bit of MG love from Rapha. But he's happy to maintain a little bit of distance at the moment. He's got his ability up in case it becomes a close range fight. But LG on LG, Rapha's got to keep his back to the doorway with 20 HP left. Must have the hang in his ear because that was a close call.
No fear at all. I don't think that Raisy accounted for that as a shaft on shaft here, and he didn't even use his flames. He's going to grab the Mega, a little bit of rocket spam. That's just going to be a flare. He's going to make his way over to the rockets.
And this is a great stack he's worked on now. No fear in moving in and burning a little bit off of Raisy, forcing him to the 50 health in the red room. And actually drugging on up for the extra health. But that means he's got a lot of work to do with this LG. Rapha's trying to make it happen with the fireballs and his own rockets, but there's the finisher. 4-on-1.
Really well done from Rapha there in the red room, using the flames and the LG. The rockets initially weren't hitting, and he swapped, and...
He's fireproof, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. He's like, I'm just going to sit here real quick, hang out. Sees Raisy at the last minute over by the rockets. Can't really trap it. A bit of frustration from Rapha there. You could see some movement errors, but still in the lead by 3.
All right, but just moving right on back to the rocket launcher for a bit more ammo. Raisy will, of course, have everything he needs, but he's going to find himself in another fight in the red room. And so far, that hasn't really been the winning combo. There's the denial of the heavy. And Rapha getting in front of him for the Mega. It could be a steal. Raisy's on it, but he's eating damage for it. A full damage rocket. But still, Raisy has a small health advantage, but not for long. Oh! 8 damage on the shotgun. He needed a bit more.
Goes all in, could get caught out here. The nail gun, he's not going to push his luck here. Just trying to spam and keep Raisy away for the time being. Raisy down to get position on this heavy armor and get those sweet, sweet drugs back up and ready as fast as he can. A lot of
Raisy
LG
for
for
what's
now.
on top of this. Yeah, so this is the first time we've really seen Rapha having to defend after the mega pickup, and Raisy's LG is absolutely brutal. Might not be the spot for Rapha, and he's getting a red room spawn. Gives you nail gun, which is great, but against this LG, it might not be enough.
Oh, that rocket too. Rapha down to 50 HP, has a 25, so he's back up to 75, but Raisy putting out the damage here, about to even it up. He's about to grab heavy, and then he can make his way over to the mega. The nails from Rapha trying to put him back, at least a delay for the mega, and it works, but still not the greatest positioning here. I don't think Rapha has rockets yet. There's a little bit of LG, goes up the jump pad again, spamming the nail. Raisy holding the angle.
At least he can get rockets almost at will. He had a much cleaner escape of the mega this time. So he's going to be rotating back in order to prep for the fight over heavy. Raisy's just hanging out here like his 130 and 50 is going to be enough, but the opening damage comes out, and it's going to be Raisy's rockets, which is going to cut Raisy out for the fight over heavy. Rapha's back in it. Where's that mega? Stolen, and Rapha's down, tying it back up 4-4, but Raisy's at 11 health, no ability up.
And the flames just missing Raisy. Very fortunate there, surviving, as you said, with 11 HP, ties it up at 5 minutes in, and this one's a close one. Those fireballs were so close.
So spicy.
So spicy.
Nice little bit of LG tickle. Got heavy armor coming back up, and it's going to be too late for Raisy. A classic error of timing. Trying to hatch that egg on heavy. Not going to go his way, and Raisy through the TP just will not have any option, no recourse, and no hope.
He's going to catch him out again. Needs to be a little bit careful here. Rapha stack isn't too great. Heavy's going to be first. Trying to spam some nails towards the rocket. Raisy almost looked like he was going in there.
Is he really going to push this fight for heavy? Yes, he is. The opening rockets are good. Oh, it's going to be the fire once again.
Rapha using those flames so well. 3 frag lead now as he claimed the heavy. Mega did go to Raisy. 6 minutes in. Still plenty of time. But yeah, just a little bit of a miscalculation there. Raisy going all in. A little bit too early.
At least now he's got the mega. And a bit of a positional advantage as Rapha's got a few ambiguous exits, but Raisy actually pushes in on the heavy side, which is smart. Heavy's coming up, it's good to defend that. Forcing Rapha back out towards mega, so this is a fight that by the numbers Raisy's got an advantage on, but when it comes to ambushing the mega, Rapha's got a slight edge. Raisy's still taking the stack back. Oh, and this rocket to open things up. Needed a little more LG. So very close.
So much LG there from Raisy. He's going to be able to stack back up, so stacks are about even. Rapha making his way over to the rockets. Does have Flame Strike as well. It's a decent rocket there. Just a little chip as Raisy strafing back and forth. Rapha has heavy timing. Raisy waiting above mega, possibly to get some exit damage on the telly. Rapha goes lower. The LG's going to push him back. Raisy's going to make his way over to the mega, and it might be a mad dash here. There's one rocket, 79 damage on that one. That one's going to be pretty chunky.
Sometimes you just have to accept that as a victory by itself, just almost negating that mega.
Just never let him have it for free.
Maybe he's still up in 10 seconds. Still 2 frag lead for Rapha as we're getting towards the end of it. And Raisy's trying to get a little bit more aggressive here, but that tribal does just keeping him at arm's length at the very least. 5 seconds mega. Rapha's going to be down here. Does he want to stay here and just invite this fight from Raisy? Be playing the TP. Oh, the fire doesn't quite make it all the way down. But he's got enough for the burninating. And Raisy doesn't really have a way out here. Oh, a great defensive rocket. That's going to allow Raisy an escape.
So incredibly close right now as we're getting near the 8-minute mark. Raisy pushing into the banana, forcing Rapha back into the red room here. He's going to go grab some more LG. Raisy trying to find him. 2 minutes left, using the inject a little bit earlier here, getting that max stack up as best he can. Rapha waiting for a 50 shard if possible. Gonna have Flame Strike back up temporarily.
At least he's got the ammo for this fight. Raisy's gonna be putting in his own LG and is just so good today. Let's see if he can keep it up throughout the entire series, but he's brought it within 1 frag. Rapha's staying a little bit quiet, getting himself LG. No rockets just yet. Trying to cross over just when Raisy's going to be making his move over towards Mega, so not a bad time to make that move.
comes out. He does have the flame
It's
strike
worth
up.
this damage though, yeah.
Again, basically stealing that Mega away. Rapha can't really do anything about it. He does have the 1 frag lead. No need to overcommit. Heavy's going to be up in 8. He just picked up a 50 shard. That's going to help a little bit. Here comes the cutoff for the Heavy. A little bit of preemptive flame, and that's going to send Raisy packing. So that's again, as you said, small victory for Rapha, being able to maintain stack, and this 1 frag lead as we round 1 minute left. There's the drop. LG come out, full commitment from both players here. Raisy forces him back. The Rocket looking for any damage here, and the Mega pickup will save his life. Raisy still extremely low. Rapha even lower, stacking back up, and that fight was so critical.
Raisy was just 1 pixel away from death. It's going to be moving back in towards the Heavy, and Rapha had to hear it, but he's more interested in health and the small armor at the moment. Just all the traded damage at that point. And the amount of LG damage that Raisy was putting in from below Mega, absolutely insane. So Rapha is kind of back in the position that Raisy was at the beginning of this match, but the flame is up, the ticks are down.
Almost got caught out with LG there. 20 seconds left. Rapha trying to hang on for dear life here as Raisy's going to push in. Can he find him? They're going to meet around the corner there, but he kickflips his way away from Rapha. He needs to push with whatever he can. 10 seconds left. Raisy on the lower ground here. Rapha has superior position. He's just going to spam some nails. Raisy needs to push in. He has no other choice. The LG's going to keep him back, and it looks like that's going to be it. Rapha's going to take map number 1.
So that little sigh of, I wouldn't say relief, but just like, yes. Feels good to be off to a good start. I mean, that wasn't a bad start for Raisy either. I mean, his LG was demonstrably just much more punishing to Rapha whenever they got into a toe-to-toe fight.
Yeah, not afraid to go toe-to-toe with the Professor, but, you know, Rapha edged out. Played real smart, super defensive near the end like he needed to. Raisy just couldn't get in. That was a very, very close game. There was a lot of items that Raisy was just cycling for a while there. Mega was pretty much his.
Yeah, the fact that Rapha was able to take this map at all is something that will require a little bit of examination. It's actually like the fireballs had a bit of an edge. Like you said, Raisy was running the items for a while, and his LG in general was much more effective. Like some of these, the corner play he's just playing with is just fantastic. Yeah, Rapha just kind of shaking his head in disbelief. He's had words about people's LG before, and I'm thinking he's going to be adding Raisy to the list.
Yeah, look at that. The Flame Strike barely missing there, surviving with 11 HP, costing him a frag. But Rapha's LG wasn't bad either, but just for the most part, Raisy toe-to-toe, no problem.
At this moment, like 2% more effective in most fights is enough to
all the difference.
Is enough to go from pretty good to awesome to just godlike.
Maybe A- to A+ or something?
Oh,
no?
geez.
Too much? Okay.
Oof.
I tried.
That's all right. That's all right. See me after school.
That's a promise. But look at this, the final play there, the LG keeping Raisy at bay, and the fist pump of relief as map number 1 is under the Professor's belt. What else is on the syllabus? I don't really know, but I think Veil, and we're going to see Keel versus Sorlag, and I'm pretty sure Raisy's on Sorlag, and Rapha is on Keel.
Right. So Raisy's going to be going for all the movements. Keel, the opposite of that. Keel's much more about staying in one place, being centered, being at one with himself, and shoving grenades down your throat.
Both champions very tanky. Sorlag has that spit, which could absolutely ruin your vision, and then the tick damage, and she doesn't take
They
any
might just
damage
run
anywhere.
into each other time and time again.
Headbutts are welcome here as we're going to get into map number 2 of this prize match here. Raisy versus Rapha. Rapha took map number 1. Can Raisy get some revenge? We will find out right now here as we're going to start off on Raisy, and he's going to start off onto the churro right by Heavy. Claimed and goes to Heavy machine gun / nail. Is he going to drop down? Yes, he is. Give himself a little bit of rail as well. Still no rockets though.
Yeah.
Is Rapha going to defend?
So an early rail pretty much means you know you're not getting LG, you know you're not getting rocket launcher immediately, which means you just cannot take these close range fights. So he's kind of playing the angles, playing the range a little bit before getting his own bout of weapons. But of course, Rapha's going to know that that's the moment he chose to do that. Rapha will want his own railgun at some point, maybe try to strip it off of Raisy's dead body. But second Mega going to Raisy as it's traded off. So like you said, massive stacks for both of them, and with armor and Mega traded in the first 20 seconds, then yeah, we're going to see a full turnaround there.
Raisy playing very slow, just waiting for any kind of sound cue here. Keel jumping all around here, waiting to serve up some pineapples. There's a rail. Rapha just barely gets a little bit of tribal, a little bit of pineapple. Spit comes out, and it's a party. Raisy's going to drop. LG's out, trying to keep Rapha at bay here. spot damage will force him away as
It's
Raisy playing
a
heavy.
decent amount of spit damage. It also gave some pretty good info over to Raisy, who is still incredibly stacked up. So it's going to take a lot of damage for both of these guys. I mean, it's going to have to be a trap, because otherwise, if it's a fight you can escape from, you're going to be able to recover here. No real damage dealt out, no rail either. That's some pretty long-range spit, Raisy.
Yeah. College, am I right? As the tribal rains down upon Raisy. Nice little rocket jump across.
All right.
Very stylish. Does eat a rail, but another rocket jump to steal the Mega, and here comes the first fight. All LG and all Raisy.
Welcome to Quakecon.
That was a beautiful play from Raisy there.
Scripted, absolutely. Directed by Michael Bay, yeah. Jeez, all right, so Raisy now on top of things. We've seen the stacks kind of get reduced, but Raisy's kind of stuck in a corner. This is not a good place to be. Rapha knows it. He's going to put himself in a corner a little bit, but Rapha turns it right back around to take the frag and even things up. But he steps a toe in the spit. It's going to be a bit of a worry for him for just a brief second as Raisy spawns up, gets rockets, gets LG, and the Mega. So a really good spot for Raisy here.
Really good plus back rail there from Rapha. Raisy's going to grab that 50 shard. Doesn't have to worry about any of the acid. Grabs the upper 50 as well, so pretty good stack. Another great rail from Rapha there from down below. Raisy playing very slow, waiting for the telly exit, trying to make something happen. No spit yet. He's going to go to Rapha. There's a rocket jump up. Here comes the attention to 4 Mega.
He doesn't even want to open with a rocket or anything. He's just like, oh, my LG is good enough. Diving down for a rail, though. 3 minutes in. And Rapha's going to know what's up, but it won't consider it worth. Oh, do you think he actually knew it was there and decided to, you know, not a good fight? Or just, I didn't know you were there?
I think he just knows everything all the
Yeah,
time.
that is much closer to the truth.
1-to-1, 3 minutes in. Raisy's going to take the trampoline and double back here. Nice little fake. He's going to rocket jump up and grab that heavy. Make his way towards rockets. Trying to get to Mega here. A little bit of a tickle through the grate down below, but he knows that he should probably push down. But Rapha, death from above, dropping down a little bit of rocket damage there. Nothing too crazy.
And thankfully for sword-like speed, we've got the ability for Raisy to move back into Mega without getting really cut off, because as soon as you go down through the LG room, I mean, he could be in trouble depending on champions. Here, Raisy has the ability to do that without getting fully punished for it. But it's going to be heavy armor going to him, and Mega's still pretty much on time, so there's a good rail, but it's traded off, and that's not a good trade for Raisy.
Such a good return rail from Rapha there. Raisy's going to try and grab these 225s and that 50 shard. Stacking back up, still a very tight game. There's a great rail. The pineapples come out as Rapha's going to double back a little bit and do some tribal to get himself out of there. Raisy building up a lot of speed. Knows that heavy is up first. He has perfect position. Rapha trying to rain down some damage from above again. Good teleport play there. Oh,
And again, the movement coming out of Sorlag. I mean, you have a little bit more of a stack than an Anarchy, so some of these rocket jump launchers to an item or just to a better angle to open up a rail, it's been really effective for Raisy so far. That said, it's 1-to-1 as we get close to the halfway point, and not having an Eisen or Galena on this map means that, you know, that teleporter is technically safe. But right now, it's got a big lizard behind it.
Just gotta wait for the dinosaur behind it here.
Nothing but a dinosaur. Don't mind me. Oh no, that definitely intentional. Absolutely. Yes. All intentional.
All of that.
Delaying the heavy.
Perfect delay there. 5 minutes in, 1-to-1. Raisy, again, doing a good job of taking these vials, trying to have spit up as much as possible. What a rail. Rapha returns. There's a little bit of pineapple. There's another one, and the pineapple's raining in now. LG comes out from Raisy. Is Rapha going to try and take this frag? No, he's going to keep him very low. He's going to make his way back over to the Mega instead.
It's going to be the second time that Rapha finds Raisy in the corner. He doesn't come in as hard this time, though. And so Rapha's not able to trap him there and keep him. But Mega's going to be back up. Is Rapha actually waiting on the heavy? Now he's going to be back up top instead, but there's the drop to it. For a little bit more teleporter play. So that's going to almost sync them right back up. Mega first.
Yeah, I wonder if he was just trying to get a little aggressive and get that frag, or if he flipped the timings in his head, but he had the opportunity to try and trap Raisy there, but instead they'll trade items. And again, like you said, about even now as we around the 60-minute mark of the first duel.
Raisy taking a breath. Not a drink like Nosfa did. Might be wise. Stay hydrated.
A lot of
Whipping that first rocket. It's dangerous to be up here. I mean, tri-bolts, grenades, rails, all a problem as you're making your way down to that Mega. There's a drop in, a drop that Rapha takes advantage of. Really good rail there. It's going to be a trade, but these trades, again, are not doing Raisy any favors. He's now completely railable. Trying to throw down something defensive on this teleporter exit, but it could go poorly if Rapha commits. But Rapha completely misses out on it and just ends up taking more damage than he gives. That is to say, he didn't give any.
Luckily for him, he did have that deadly 25, but Raisy was nowhere to be found to capitalize on that, so he did negate the dot damage, but Raisy has a massive stack now. He's grabbing 50 shard, making his way possibly down the rail, just trying to suss out where Rapha is right now. He's waiting atop. It's like heavy machine gun right above Nail.
I cannot believe that we're seeing a Veil go 1-to-1 for such a long time. And it's not even really about the stacks here. Like, it's been more about Raisy's movements and Rapha's just absolute domination of any time Raisy wants to like recover in the rail room. Good LG. We got the acid ticks coming. So Rapha's going to be ticking down slowly, but getting some health back. It's a long time before either item comes back up, so it's just all about audible information or just running into each other at the power-up. Rapha backing off. He's not willing to go in for the push just yet. He wants to soften up Swordlight with a few more rails.
Yeah, he doesn't want to commit until he knows 100% he can take that fight. Raisy's so stacked now. He's going to miss out on that rail. Both players extremely stacked. No spit for 10 seconds here. Both players very patiently closer and closer to the 8-minute mark. This is too close. I don't like it. I'm a fat man. My heart can't take this.
Well, Raisy's not the only one who's heavy then. But Rapha's looking pretty heavy himself on Mega, full bat of armor. Really oblique angle for these rails, no connections just yet. Raining down the rockets, raining up the spit. That's how that works, but it's gonna be a big fight over the churro for the heavy armor. Raisy gets knocked off, but he knocks Rapha off. Nobody's getting that armor. Rapha is incredibly weak. There's the rocket jump. Oh, and Raisy doesn't quite make the movement. No Mega for him, but he runs into Rapha anyway. You weren't supposed to be down there, Raisy. You were supposed to be getting that Mega.
Oh, and that could be the difference in this match. Raisy getting the Mega, having to stack a minute and a half for Rapha to try and claw this one back. Yeah, Raisy's movement just so good. I mean, actually, it kind of failed, but it kind of worked out in his favor. So again, tactical, right? There's the jump down. Rapha eating a lot of LG. That's not what he wants. 25 HP. Any tickle will do it here. And there it is as he tries to make a play through the TP. Down 2. Heavy goes to Raisy, and with a minute left, that's all she wrote here. Let's see. Rapha not giving up. 1 minute left. Spit used for Raisy. Can Rapha do it?
By the pace of this match, 2 frags in 1 minute is not what we've been seeing.
It's turbo.
However, Rapha knows that it needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. It's his tournament, and he wants it now.
No better place than here, no better time than now, as Raisy gets a little bit of rocket damage and gracefully falls down to the mid-platform here. Rapha's going to be able to claim heavy, but at what cost? 30 seconds left, and he's got to put pedal to the metal. Get these frags here, which is no easy task, especially against such a stacked Sorlag here.
I mean, that was a good point to turn around. It doubled the triple back. Raisy back in this corner, and Rapha's caught him there. Oh, the rocket jump nearly got him out of harm's way, but he's stuck on the jump pad. Rapha's able to take the frag. 12 seconds to find the spawn. He doesn't spawn LG, he's back at rail.
There's one rail.
He's gonna be down below Turtle.
There's another.
Could he make it through for the last shot?
2 seconds, he's got to go. He can't do it. My heart, I can't. Raisy claws that one back, and not just because he's Sorlag, although that movement was amazing. I'm going to hammer it home until you understand. But that was a fantastic game from Raisy. Nail biter? Too much?
Yes, absolutely. I feel bad for the replay guys because a lot of that was
just replay the whole
positioning.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of it was positioning. One rail here and there, a few almost traps, a few almost commitments, but nothing really until Raisy opened things up and got that 2-frag lead. And then everything, there are some of these matches that come down literally to one moment, and we'll get to it there in just a little bit. But I mean, just as far as flash goes, doesn't get any flashier than Raisy rocket jumping off of the heavy armor to get to that Mega. And yeah,
Look
just
at that. He's like,
you know,
that's terrifying. It's a flying dinosaur. What am I supposed to do?
just coordinated, scripted, and yeah, this was a corner that Raisy went to several times, and Rapha caught him there several times, but he only actually got a frag out of it once.
This fight was amazing because it's like, no, you. It's just nobody's getting the heavy.
Yeah, any smaller champion would have died it, and that is the moment that defined everything. Rapha, he might have even heard the rocket jump, and yeah, why was he down there? A, if he had made the rocket jump, he would have been at Mega. B, if he didn't rocket jump at all, he wouldn't have been down there so fast.
You a fan of Bob Ross? Happy little mistakes, maybe?
Well, it might be the happiest mistake that Raisy's made this tournament. That's going to tie things up map-wise, and that inches us ever so closer to us, you know, getting our prediction of 5 maps.
Yep.
I think these guys are in it for the long run.
Oh, yeah. So are we. I hope you guys are ready. We're going to get into Molten Falls is going to be next. BJ versus Ranger.
Yeah. And of course, I say long run metaphorically. Everybody's sitting down. I hope everybody's comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Rapha's
Get up
comfortable.
and stretch if you have to. It's been a long
He's got
day.
2 pillows. He's got 2 pillows.
Maybe he needs more pillows. Did he steal those from base?
He might have stolen them from Nosfa. I mean, they actually gave him some luck.
Take some notes on that. I still don't have my pillows, but yeah, Molten Falls up next again. BJ versus Ranger. Ranger has that mobility, but you get caught out with dual wield BJ, it's gonna hurt.
I mean, again, this format has really shaken things up. Every individual player has to play so many more champions than we've ever been used to seeing them. So it's like, how does Rapha play with the BJ?
I don't know, but we'll see
necessarily
if
know.
Rapha's gonna fall off the ledge and start off strong.
I mean,
It's a
we
good
do know
omen.
how Rapha plays with the Ranger at least, so we're in safe hands there.
That's true. Needs a little bit of that security blanket there, but we're going to get into the third map, guys. Raisy versus Rapha right now. Raisy's going to start off on the rockets, make his way over to the rail. A great initial rocket right off the bat. Into Rapha's face as he doubles back for the Mega.
I like this. Raisy just crawling to the corner in case Rapha wants to come back, but it looks like he's vacated the premise to go get that rail. And after the rails, he's even expecting a play through the corner, which is not going to be happening here. So back up, second heavy's taken, 7 seconds to second Mega. Raisy has to know that he's got to be on it. A little bit of damage just to keep Rapha off the top of the map, denying him that Mega. So it's going to be traded items. Not a lot of damage traded so far.
Rapha trying to find the rail through that side hallway there. Raisy probably kicking himself a little bit for missing that opportunity at big damage throwing up the trampoline there. A little bit of damage from the rockets. Good return rocket from Rapha there. Makes Raisy drop, and Rapha takes him out, says no to the dual wield, and wins out on the heavy.
A little bit of, you know, sneaking a rocket into the dire orb. But it's a neat trick.
Oh. Ta-da! But very close.
Be
Raisy.
careful, Rapha.
Yeah, Raisy's defensive rockets.
Careful.
As Rapha dropped down, very, very close to getting a refrag there.
Yeah, it's
Raisy's
gonna be
gonna
a
push. Oh, geez, come out. There's the dire orb up, and the switch to rockets nets Rapha the frag. Hits him with the peekaboo.
But once again, he's relatively weak off the spawn, and yeah, Raisy, as soon as he gets his hands on an LG, just goes, you know what, 87 health, maybe even the heavy, I don't care, I'm gonna win that fight. And indeed he does, gets himself on the board.
Yeah, good push from Raisy off the spawn there.
So now 18 seconds until getting that dire orb back, and I'm only calling that out because in both fights so far, it has been of the utmost importance. This has been the refrag capability from Raisy after such a dirty fight, and Rapha didn't know he was up there. It's gonna be a little bit of free damage, and again, Raisy's LG is just phenomenal.
Oh, and Raisy with the bait, thought he was gonna go up the jump pad, and this is the rocket, and that was just
Let
good
me break that
dodge.
down because that was a little complicated. Rapha thought he was gonna go up the jump pad, so he started aiming at the jump pad. Raisy
It's
didn't
like,
go up the jump
I'm not gonna go that way.
Wow.
I
Wow.
don't like that.
See, you only see this kind of stuff here.
It's high quality stuff, guys. 2 versus 2 right now, 2:30 in. Raisy playing very slow, does have dual wield up and a little bit of LG. A little bit of a tickle coming out from Rapha there. He's gonna drop back down into the dual wield as Raisy runs out of LG. Rapha takes him down. Takes the lead, and what a rocket from Raisy. Rapha was coming around the corner. Wow.
He's gonna still be able to, every time he dies, he gets a heavy item off the spawn. Seems a little
Calculated.
biased of the map, if you ask me. So we got Raisy here, losing a bit of his Mega. Oh, that rocket was very, very dangerous. Rapha's still 1 frag up, 3 minutes in. Heavy's back up in Raisy's hands. 5 seconds to Mega. Raisy won't really be able to do much about it. Maybe catching Rapha if he drops back down. He's going to go back up the jump pad. Things go a little bit quiet as Raisy is just listening for Rapha to come back around to the heavy armor, or even through teleporter. Does he know he's down?
I think he hears him down below, but waiting on the heavy, waiting for some sort of easy commitment from Rapha, but nothing doing. Raisy will just grab the heavy, make his way over to Mega, but the items are traded. Here's the jump pad, can't find the angle for the rail, so doesn't even bother. He makes his way right back to shotgun center map.
Raisy right back to where he was. It's a fairly safe position. It's hard to be surprised here, especially if you're being this quiet. But Raisy's being very quiet. He's down by 1. He knows he's got to make something happen, but he is banking on Rapha making this route and opening up a fight for him. But Rapha, for the process of elimination, has to know he's there, but the first damage still goes to Raisy. Oh, nearly gets away with that fadeaway rail. He's going to be running out of ability. Oh, almost getting knocked off the map, but gets away with that Mega just barely. So Rapha dealt with that fairly effective.
Good defensive play, but Rapha's going to drop down onto the heavy, and Raisy's right there with the LG to absolutely melt him, tying it at 3. I was going to say Rapha did a great job of staying alive, and then he just didn't there as he tried to grab the heavy. Raisy now looking to add to his lead, getting close to the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, so 3-3 at 5 minutes. I think these guys have played each other a few times.
Feel like they're familiar.
There's a lot of what you could call respect. Definitely not fear, but caution.
5-minute warning.
So with heavy up, Raisy above it, delaying it just a little bit. Again, waiting to see if Rapha wants to make an aggressive play. I mean, so far over the last couple minutes, Raisy's been going, all right, are you actually going to push in on this fight? No? Okay, well, fine. I'll just wait. 3 seconds, Mega. Raisy's going to be exposing himself down there. No. Take the jump pad. Got the pickup. 8 seconds to the heavy. Rapha should be able to get there just about in time. He's not even going for it. This could be double items for Raisy.
Uncontested too, no damage. Could the trap occur in rail rim? The immediate rockets warn Raisy. Going to be a little bit careful trying to clear this corner here, and Rapha's already gone. They got 2 items uncontested. That's going to be huge for the stack here.
He's playing it like it should be. I mean, their combat skills are so evolved that you have to assume you're not going to get a clean frag. You're getting nothing for free, so bring everything into it that you possibly can.
Raisy trying to hit some of these rails here. Rapha dodging well. Dual LG comes out. Rapha trying to rain down some rocket damage here. Just enough to outlast the dual wield, but Raisy still has such a monster stack here.
Tied up, he's no longer worried about the clock, so he's kind of back to his old pace, which is get this BJ as stacked as possible. Mega's gonna be back up. Rapha goes down for it. And right back up the jump pad. A lot of LG damage though. A lot of that armor knocked off. Raisy back down to 100-100 himself.
Jumping past that rocket, missing out on some damage. There's one for Raisy. Dual wheel comes in off the orb, and Rapha has to full commit to this. Raisy going up the jump pad, and Rapha takes one himself. That looked like it was going to be a frag either way, but the orb in and gets out quick. Raisy did blow the dual wield, and now Rapha has position on the rockets, raining down on the Mega. Raisy will double back, though, as Rapha gives up. He has no real stack here, needs to be really careful.
Yeah, this is dangerous for Raisy. I mean, so far he's been eager to set a lot of these traps, and that's what's gotten him his 3 frags. But over the last minute or so, he's just had to react to what Rapha's doing. It still gets him a Mega and actually a heavy armor, which is just more just smoke and mirrors to which way Rapha is routing this map. Just creeping it. Oh, but Rapha actually committed. Dire Orb down to avoid a little bit of the LG, but he's already taken so much damage. Can he survive this?
Wow.
Barely one rail.
Didn't have the Dire Orb to escape to, and he's gonna get caught out. What a great rail. Next one could do it here. Rapha trying to find it. The LG comes out. He goes through the TP again. Heavy goes to Raisy. He's got a stack to tank multiple rails. What a rocket off the jump pad. Rapha again doing a great job of staying alive here. Stack's about even. Mega's gonna be up in about 1 second. Rapha misses with that rail. Raisy's gonna be able to claim the Mega. 2 minutes, still tied at 3.
That rocket really opened everything up, but now Raisy is moving here to the heavy, and only at the threshold realizing, wait, he's gonna know I'm here. There's nowhere else anyone would logically go. It could be trouble. And yeah, they're doing damage to each other. It's still gonna be Raisy fending him off and taking the heavy. 1 minute, 30 seconds left. This is turning into almost a repeat of the last map.
Very, very tight here. 1 minute, 30 seconds left. A little bit of a spam rocket there. That gives Rapha the information. Again, he's gonna back off, giving it Raisy a lot of respect here. Up the jump pad, dual wield comes out. Rapha with the LG, and again, backs away. Does a good job of avoiding the dual wield from Raisy.
He's using the dual wield very effectively. He doesn't just think that the dual wield is a ticket to just plus forward. He's using it a lot to kind of scare Rapha off, and only taking the shots that he knows he can probably execute well.
And Rapha reacting appropriately, saying, I'm good. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, wrong number. I'm sorry.
It's the final minutes, 3-3. Is this going to go to overtime, or are we going to see somebody pull the trigger on this before then? I mean, Raisy's only at 100-100. Yeah.
Could be. Rapha pushing in a little bit of the LG. Certainly doesn't want to take this fight. Dual wield pop. Rapha's going to go in with the orb here, and he's got to hit all these rockets to swap to rail. Rapha gets the frag. That may have seemed insane to some people. Now, hits the rail, needs to be a little bit careful, but with 20 seconds left in the frag lead, all the pressure is on Raisy. I cannot believe what I just saw.
So this means that Rapha's going to need to avoid a fight for another 15 seconds. 100-100. Doesn't have a lot of LG. Doesn't have a lot of stack. This is the worst place to get into a fight.
Oh, no.
The rocket will do it.
Raisy
and plays it, ties it back up. 4-4 with 5 seconds left. I believe we're going into overtime. But it's sudden death overtime, so there's no chance to breathe. Oh,
and all he does is take a swig of water. All he does after that is take a swig of water. He just hit the game winner from beyond the arc, and that's it. He's just like, pass the Gatorade. I'm good. I'm a little parched. A little parched. I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
Hitting that midair. I mean, we're going to see the replay here in a moment, and I might need to see that one at least once.
6 or 7 times. 6 or 7 times.
That was what? It was rocket bounce to over mega to dire orb.
Yeah. I was like, is he going to go for the midair? And he's like, nah, I'll just go for the orb.
I'm going to go for the even cooler than midair, but we're going to go ahead and check out these highlights. Again, there's one that I really care about because I'm not even really certain what I saw, but we saw a lot of dire orb usage, both aggressively and also just to reposition just a little bit as Raisy's training in his LG.
I just can't believe the all-in plays with the orb on these items. Sometimes it cost him his life, but then we saw the huge steal against dual wield too, and Rapha pulled it out, and then of course the dire orb to seal the map, which was that's insane.
I mean, this is turning into a tournament where we're learning why Rapha has Quakecon tenure.
Even if he hit that rail, even if Raisy hit that rail, Rapha would have gotten that frag. He would have been a lot lower, but that's just so incredible here. Look at that.
Bit of a sigh of relief, yeah. You know, that's actually the most emotion I've ever seen out of Raisy. That's it right there.
Just a slight head nod.
But I mean, here we had the trap. I mean, this is just not a good room to get caught in.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He said, oh, Jiminy Jillikers, all right? Calm down. Oh, hamburgers. Look at this play, though.
And then
the rocket pop,
so pop
all the way over
down,
into one more.
Dire orb. What is that?
So look, even you read Raisy's mind.
Cannot believe it. That was incredible.
I love Quake, Jahar. I think I love Quake. That was incredible. That was awesome. Awoken.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, I am awoken.
Yeah,
now.
we're all awoken now.
Jeez.
How could you not be after that? Can we make some more noise for that play? Because that was incredible. We got quite the game here. Rapha's up 2-1, going into Awoken. We got Eisen and, I believe, Nyx. So is the Wally going to make people phase shift?
It could well. I mean, so far when we've seen Eisen come out into it, we saw some like mix-ups that weren't really anticipated. But again, like, everybody watches Rapha's stream. I don't think he does much else but just do like every matchup of champions, every combination of maps, which is why they call him.
I think the professor.
That's it.
Let me check my notes here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the professor.
Okay, we're going to make it funny sometime. It's going to work out.
Some might say he does his homework.
Oh.
Too much? I'm sorry.
We're going to make
Okay.
it funny sometime. It might not be today.
Probably
we got a
not.
whole season to work on it.
We'll try it
Here we
again
go.
at the bar, but
Right here in Awoken.
we'll see if Raisy can raise the bar here and tie it at 2 as Rapha took the lead 2-1. Map number 4 on Awoken and a quick rail into Raisy's face. He's going to rocket jump and hopefully grab the Mega, and he does safely. That could have been real bad, real fast.
Of course, Raisy's going to take this because we're going to 5 maps. I mean, that's just science.
I believe, I'm just saying, that the professor probably doesn't want that to happen.
Oh, well.
That's what I'm saying.
Quake doesn't care about what you want.
The sausage professor of Chicago has spoken as we're 30 seconds in now. Raisy with a little bit of chip damage on that rocket, having position on the heavy. Rail comes out from Rapha. Raisy not so fortunate to land his. He does finally grab the heavy.
And keeping his back to the wall, anticipating Rapha moving back through rocket launcher. Rapha knows. Rapha don't care. He's throwing out a little bit of tri-bolt. More sending a message than anything else. Oh, it's going to be the creep around the corner. Raisy just gets knocked out. Oh, nice.
Oh, but Wally
the turret.
snitches
Oh.
on him after that ghost walk play. He's like, I found her. Come get her.
And that's exactly what Raisy's going to do, LG and LG. But for once, Rapha's LG is enough to save him and take the frag back.
And not only the frag, but both items here. Complete map control. He's not going to have ghost walk up. He probably wants that back up as soon as possible. A bit of rocket spam, making sure that he doesn't allow Raisy rail for free here. Now that he knows it's safe, he's going to drop down and get those time shards so we can have ghost walk on lock. That get out of jail free card is so crucial to Nyx.
Absolutely, but as we saw, Rapha's LG has turned up a few notches, getting him on the board. Ooh, any damage off it? Yes, a lot of damage off that rocket. So that's going to be a mega backup, and Raisy not committing to it. He's coming back into LG for some recovery. Rapha was seeing who's going to take the jump pad. Now he's going to be down at machine gun. But Raisy, again, he's very patient. He doesn't really react all that much. Rapha does things to try to push him out of areas and then catch him on the flip side, but if Raisy doesn't move, nothing happens.
Yeah, he won't flinch. He's the God Slayer. Of course he's not going to flinch, but Rapha's going to grab the heavy ghost walk over to the Mega. Aggressive play here. If Raisy gets caught out, there's a little bit of a preemptive rocket. Goes right through him. No big deal. Raisy's still waiting for T-Con here.
Oh, well, it's going to be T for 2 with the turret up. As Rapha's going to be absorbing a little bit. He still wants to play the corner. He wants this fight. He's like, I know I'm going to take some splash damage coming in, but I want it. Rapha's still got a bit of Mega left over. We hear the tippy-tappy down below. Not quite committing to the teleporter just yet. Raisy knows it'll be trouble when he does, but he's able to escape through to the other side, taking away that LG.
That was a really good play from Raisy, showing restraint, as I said before. Not going straight through the TP. Rapha would have had the shot queued up. And Raisy's going to push in down by the drive-through window here. And the LG from Rapha is just a little bit better. And he's going to nail his second frag.
Good stuff for him. But he's left incredibly weak. The refrag potential on Awoken is incredible. Probably the tightest in Quake Champions. But, oh, Rapha was looking for the foot frag. Nyx does have feet. I mean,
Nyx does have feet. I was really hoping you'd bring that up so everyone knows as Rapha.
But they're not easy to hit.
Wow. Claims the items, the 50 shard and the 25, and then grabs a Mega and gets a great rail onto Raisy, keeping him low. He's going to be able to deny this 50 shard. Grabbing some rockets, and does have Ghost Walk up again. Raisy poking his head out, just a little bit of LG damage and a little bit of return to Tri-Bolt from Rapha.
Just clearing corners, and this is probably the most dangerous corner of the map for these two. They've crept around and surprised each other a few times. But now Rapha, he's up 2 frags. He doesn't want any surprises. He wants this to be nice and clean if he gets it at all. But at the moment, he's content to just cycle the Mega and keep that stack.
Waiting for the sound, and Raisy knows better. He's like, no, it's a bad corner. But Rapha says, I'll bring the corner to you. I don't care. I'll rail you regardless. Great shot there, again, keeping Raisy extremely low.
We've gotten to the point where nobody wants to go around to any corner ever.
It's never safe. Nothing is ever safe. Rapha going for the all-in Ghost Walk play here. There's the LG. Raisy was just about to drop, I feel like. And there is the drop. Rapha with a bit of a mistimed rocket there. Raisy's still incredibly weak. Almost got the rail angle. Still has an opportunity. Jump pad saves his life. Being so close on that rail. Raisy just avoiding death. I don't even know if he knows how close to death he is right there.
So he's going to be recovering at Banana and LG. Rapha here's the jump pad. Raisy bailing off of that. We're now just halfway through. And Raisy's creeping around the corner. Rapha looking for some info out of these rockets. Raisy's going to poke it. Here comes the turret, and it's going to be knocked on down, but not before Rapha's getting it knocked off the platform himself. That Mega goes to Raisy. Heavy could be Raisy's hands as well.
Yeah, Wally acted as a complete shield there on that one, protecting Raisy. Now Raisy has both items, quite the stack, but he still has a 2 frag deficit to make up. Plenty of time. Just needs to play this well. Rapha does have Ghost Walk in case things go horribly wrong. That rocket was fantastic from Rapha.
Another aggressive Ghost Walk, not looking, maybe even looking for the teletrap, but he just wants to get close and personal. Reach out and rail someone, or the LG will do it, or anything will do it. Rapha at 3 HP, definitely in the danger zone, and he's got to realize, I'm only up 2 frags. There's a lot of time to play with none
He is
health.
crazy!
What's he doing?
And Raisy gets that frag, but with 5 HP, that was very fortunate that Raisy lived. Rapha was just playing all crazy like. I don't even know what that wasn't very professor-like, was it?
Yeah, he's just on summer break, it's fine. But Raisy, I mean, we've seen in this tournament how dangerous it is to lose 1 frag on Awoken because the spawn frag potential and just the taking advantage of you on the refrag is just so high. So Rapha took a little bit of damage there, but he's back in the saddle. 1 frag up. Turret will be up top. Heavy taken by Raisy. 10 seconds to the Mega. And Raisy's will be coming in from Banana. Rapha's going to be top T. Yeah, he's there, but he's not committed to the Mega. He likes the Mega.
Mega is good.
He's not committed to it. Raisy's going to get the grab. So Raisy's going to have all the stack in the world. Oh, no! And Rapha has to use the get out of that card.
Night at the Roxbury between Wally and Raisy's rockets there. Great rail. 25 available for Raisy. Rapha's going to push in. Raisy with a rail of his own. Both players very weak. Is Rapha going to find this angle? No, not going up the jump pad here. 63 HP. Raisy has more items at his disposal than Banana here. A little bit of tribal from both players there. Raisy opts to drop down below. Gonna go up the jump pad. That's dangerous. 100 damage rocket, but the LG pushes him down. And Rapha closes in on the kill. That'll make it 3-1.
Rapha is very close. Turning into the God Killer killer. Oh, but Rapha didn't see the LG coming his way. Down to 16 and down to none. And as Raisy shoves him in a corner, looking for the refrag on the LG spawn. Getting a little bit of damage, but not much else than that.
I think Ghostwalk came up just a hair too late for Rapha to get out of that one. Again, we have a 1 frag game here.
We can hear the tippy-tappy on LG.
What
Looking for the
a
air rocket.
rocket.
Gets it, looking for the LG. Stuck on the jump pad, but Raisy still manages to pull out the frag with 30 HP. And again, the refrag potential is high here. And Raisy's still railable. Of course, Rapha won't have one. He's going to be making his way through Mega, which will be bereft of Mega at the moment. So, I mean, Rapha's got to be very careful here. There's not a whole lot for him to pick up.
2 minutes tie game. Raisy doing a good job of grabbing that LG before it disappears so it doesn't have to go completely out of his way. There's a rail, 45-45 for Raisy. Needs to be careful. Does grab a 25 to get out of rail range. Does have Wally in his back pocket. Possibly has Rapha trapped over here. There's the Wally down for a little bit of deterrence here. And the Ghost Walk play comes out, but Rapha can't really net any damage off of it. Raisy extremely weak.
He's still railable even after the health taken here at the LG. He's going to wait for the armor. Not even going to go Banana for a little bit of extra health. Just over 1 minute left. Raisy's so weak. 4 HP. Machine gun would do it. Anything would do it. Raisy's back. Here, oh, I love this push on the Banana. Yeah, no help for you. No frag for you. 1 minute to play. Rapha getting a rail off the respawn. Looking for another one through the drive-through window. Not quite getting it. There's the toss out of the turret. It's going to be deleted.
Almost gets that rail. Time is ticking away. Raisy needs to make something happen. Rapha up 1 frag. 40 seconds away from taking this prize match here. 3-1, he's gonna claim the Mega. That's gonna make it infinitely more difficult for Raisy to get back in here. The rockets are decent. Return rocket from Rapha. He does have Ghost Walk, 30 seconds. Raisy needs to make it happen. Maybe not that way as he drops into Shaft, gets pulled through the TP here. Heavy's gonna go to Rapha. Great rail, 17 HP, but he hits the rail before invis.
The the fact that he did that with 17 HP, where any sane man would have just pulled the trigger on the Ghost Walk and not died.
And
He went for the last rail. One more shot, Itis wins for Rapha.
And that's it. Look at that smile. Raisy looks around the corner and says, there's not much I could do. Rapha pulls it off and wins it, but big shouts to Raisy. He's still the God Slayer, man. He's still the God Slayer, all right? But there it is. The Sausage Professor of Chicago has done it again, taking down Raisy 3-1. All of them tight games, though.
And a true gentleman, he drinks after he gets up off the desk. Yeah, what a guy. What a guy.
He waits.
What a guy. Yeah.
He waits.
But what a series as well. Every match was down to single frags, single moments, single seconds, and some of the craziest Star Orb I've ever seen in my life. DJ Wheat, have you seen anything like that before?
If I told you yes, would that devalue it at all?
No,
Because
you
it was
have,
still amazing. But I mean, I think the more important thing is that if this is insight to what this year of Quake can be leading up to, you know, ultimately awarding that belt, right? Like someone is going to have their name engraved on there, but someone's going to be holding that belt 1 year from now. And if this is any indication of where we're at, imagine where these players are going to be in another year. That's exciting as hell. So I think, you know, would we have loved to seen a God slayed here today? Absolutely. But as the crowd, as you heard, I think they're pretty happy with the results of this matchup too.
Yeah, I think we got some good energy from them. Rapha did as well. We all thought it would go down to, you know, a nail biter on every map. It just went down to a nail biter on, you know, 4 maps instead.
Yeah, and I mean, the highlights, this is going to be another one of those situations where you could make a little frag movie out of everything that just happened in these 4 games. Some great play on both sides. You know, one of my favorite moments, which I'm sure we'll see, was, of course, the orb to win the game. I believe that was Molten Falls.
Yeah.
Just some phenomenal play.
Yeah, I mean, again, can't take anything away from Raisy. His movement on Veil won him that game. That was absolutely insane.
I mean, that's just never a fun corner anyway. And the fact that Raisy felt like that was the best bet in so many situations just shows how often they've played together and how many layers there are to their stack of he's going to go here, I'm going to be here, etc. Sometimes it's much simpler. Sometimes it's just, I've got the better LG. No, you don't.
Look at that. Send in a rocket, throw the ball behind it. Why not? Oh, I follow ball. I do damage. I'll never get over that dire orb. That was incredible. That Michael Jordan from Beyond the Arc. Goodness.
Yeah, there were some phenomenal. We had what 2 games that 3 games that went to a final frag at the end. There it is. Beautiful.
One after another. Yeah, and that expression from Raisy, yeah, who gets away with that? Well, I think we know
the professor does, apparently. The professor does.
Yep. So the God Slayer not able to slay today, but man, still put on an amazing performance for us here. And to think that we still have one more match to go is pretty fantastic as we see the final moments of this matchup between Rapha